Right now on News 4 at 10, controversy over Elmwood Project. A developer wants to turn this church into senior housing. Why the community is pushing back.
And a quiet night in the Queen City, heading into your Labor Day. Lots of sunshine, but we're going to be dealing with wind and thunderstorms on the way. We'll time those out for you coming up in your 4-1 forecast.
I'm Danielle Nottingham in Houston. While the cleanup begins in Texas, some communities are still weeks away from drying out.
Live in high definition, this is Western New York's news leader. Now, News 4 at 10.
Topping the 10 tonight, here's a live look over downtown Buffalo. Rain did pass through earlier, but it's a quiet night in the city, and a beautiful Labor Day is on the way. Good evening, everyone. Many will be trying to spend time outdoors with family and friends, but will rain spoil your holiday plans later? Forward meteorologist Andrew Baglini times it out in his forecast. Andrew?
Yeah, Callan, we have some ups and downs ahead for Labor Day, so if you have any outdoor plans, pay close attention to this forecast. Very quiet right now. We've had that disturbance leaving our region, and skies clearing, in fact, right now, which is some nice news as high pressure builds in. There's a look at temperatures. Not too bad tonight. Mid-60s here in Buffalo, some mid and upper 50s in the southern tier. Won't be an overly chilly night, so that's some good news. So again, showers leaving. Here's what's moving in. We have an area of high pressure. This is going to provide us a lot of sunshine tomorrow, but then here comes our next disturbance already on the way, and this will be arriving tomorrow night. So it's a quick break of sunshine, but then we have thunderstorms moving in. Again, tomorrow night, even the potential for some of them to turn strong or severe. Marginal risk for severe weather with a slight risk down across Chautauqua and western Cattaraugus County. And again, this is later on tomorrow night. Here's how it looks in your hour-by-hour forecast. Clearing skies tonight. We'll wake up to a lot of sunshine on a breezy Monday for your Labor Day. Very nice, though. Getting into the late afternoon, you can start to see the clouds building in across Lake Ontario. The storm's not arriving until closer to sunset, around 8, maybe 9 o'clock. But again, expect heavy downpours, strong, maybe some damaging wind gusts. So nice early on, but it will end with a bang with those storms rolling through. Now, on top of all that sunshine for your Labor Day, it will be warm back in the upper 70s and low 80s, but pay attention to the breeze picking up, especially into the afternoon. And my main concern with that, if you plan on being out on the water, going to be awfully choppy out there, waves building up to 2 to 4 feet, so be extra careful. Same story if you plan on heading to the beaches. Coming up in your full 4-1 forecast, we'll talk about the rest of the week and an update on the Atlantic.
The crisis created after Hurricane Harvey flooded a chemical plant near Houston may be over. This on a day when people around the country gathered to pray for those affected by the storm. Danielle Nottingham is in Houston with the latest.
All of the trailers holding highly unstable compounds at the Arkema chemical plant have been ignited. Plant officials conducted this controlled burn on the last 6 trailers that had yet to ignite on their own. The company says it's going to let the fires burn out before sending in safety officials and air quality experts. Local officials evacuated residents 1.5 miles around the plant when Hurricane Harvey left it flooded. 9 days after Harvey first hit, floodwaters have finally receded. In dried out areas of Houston, residents are pulling their belongings outside so they can air out. There have been reports of scavengers, so some homeowners have left messages that this is not trash. Here in West Houston, 2 swollen reservoirs are expected to keep water levels high for about 2 weeks, and everyone has been ordered to evacuate.
The police came, knocked on my door, and said, "You have 10 minutes to get out," and there was a canoe waiting for me and my husband.
Some were able to attend church services on this National Day of Prayer for victims and survivors of Hurricane Harvey.
We come to you today with aching hearts, searching for healing and hope that only you can provide.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott estimates the damage from Hurricane Harvey could total $180 billion, more costly than Hurricanes Sandy or Katrina. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Houston.
And we know that Buffalo will come through. We began raising money this morning in our services.
Donations to help those affected by Hurricane Harvey continue to pour in from the City of Good Neighbors. Buffalo Common Council President Darius Pridgeon is getting ready to go to Texas and help on the ground in the disaster zone. He plans to go with 3 other volunteers. True Bethel Baptist Church plans to raise $14,000. $4,000 of that will be to fund their transportation costs, but the remaining $10,000 will go directly to relief efforts.
There are families there right now suffering who can't get to the Red Cross. It's the same thing that we found when we went to Flint, that there were these drop-off sites, but you had people without transportation. You had people in public housing who were suffering.
The church is now accepting personal care items, not clothes or shoes, but also monetary donations to fund the volunteer trip. They plan to leave as soon as the money is raised. If you want to help these efforts, we have information on our website, WYVB.com. And remember, you can help those affected by Harvey right from your phone. Just text the word Harvey to 90999 to make a $10 donation directly to the Red Cross. We are learning more about an overnight shooting in Buffalo. Police now tell us the victim is a 21-year-old man. The shooting happened just before 2:30 this morning at Lisbon and Bailey Avenues. This is what the scene looked like when our photographer arrived. You can see a lot of police activity near this Family Dollar. The man is still being treated at ECMC, and sources tell us he was sitting in a vehicle when he was shot.
That does not seem opportune. Doesn't seem like the best way to use that green space.
A $7 million redevelopment project is clashing with city residents. The owner of the former Episcopal Church on Linwood Avenue wants to turn it into affordable senior housing. But neighbors and preservationists are not happy about the proposed construction. News 4's Rachel Monjovi has reaction from both sides tonight. Rachel?
Well, Callan, the property has been vacant since 2015. Neighbors say since then it's been in disrepair. Now plans to redevelop the property is getting a lot of attention, but mostly because neighbors say it would taint the historic fabric of the community.
We're not anti-senior housing. We're not anti-middle-class housing. We're anti that thing.
Preserving Buffalo's history is top priority for people living in the historic district, and saving this former Episcopal church is no different.
When the Ascension Parish essentially moved to a different location in January of 2015, the diocese was left with the church building and the grounds.
The Episcopal Diocese of Western New York wants to turn part of the property into 28 affordable senior housing apartments. It would target people over 55 living on low or fixed income.
It also addresses a need, which is the lack of affordable housing in the city of Buffalo.
But it's not senior housing that's causing concern.
I think it's more of the addition on the front that they've been talking about. It just doesn't seem to fit in with the neighborhood at all.
I don't really like what they're doing with the front of the building. I think it's going to detract from the historical nature.
It's this new structure that's getting pushback from residents.
I don't really know why we need to put one of those 1970s aluminum cubes down. It's a bad way to clutter up a beautiful historic spot.
I'm kind of concerned about parking, how they're going to be handling that. I'd rather not have this all be parking or anything like that.
The spokesperson for the diocese says they're considering neighbors' concerns.
We're reviewing the comments that were submitted.
But he says the diocese is committed to giving the space new life, and this project extends the mission of the church. Now, the project was approved for historic tax credits by the National Park Service. The project is waiting on approval for low-income tax credits. The next step is to take the proposal to the city for the review process, which is expected this fall. Reporting live, Rachel Monjovi, News 4 at 10.
All right, thank you, Rachel. Still ahead, with or without you, U2 takes the stage in Orchard Park this week. How you can get tickets for the Joshua Tree Show.